What's up, guys? Tyler here, coming at you with another lesson. So I was thinking about what to do a lesson on, and I thought of one of my favorite licks to play on the drums, and I'm sure it's one of your favorite licks too. It's called the Blushda, and everybody loves the Blushda. So what is the Blushda? We'll start there, and then I'll quickly run through some orchestrations, which I think are really fun to use with the Blushda. So the Blushda is you could say fusion type lick, as it kind of arose and became popular in that context through the work of people like Tony Williams. And then, of course, this phrase also happens with great frequency in the playing of Vinnie Colaiuta. Todd Shukerman uses the phrase quite a bit. And then you even branch out into the prog world, and you'll hear a number of prog drummers playing the Blushda. So I think, for instance, of Gavin Harrison, who's one who uses the Blushda quite effectively. So the Blushda is a flam. So it's a low right and a accented left. It starts with a flam. Followed by a drag, and it's a right-handed drag. So that's right, right, left. That's the whole thing. That's the Blushda. So it's a really cool lick. It sounds good just on a snare drum. Now, if you've heard this lick before, you've probably heard it orchestrated in the classic way, which is between the ride cymbal, the snare drum, and the bass drum. The kick drum, the bass drum, follows the ride cymbal, which is played with the right hand in the flam in the beginning of the phrase. So that orchestration sounds like this. It's an awesome orchestration, and it's the one that most people are familiar with. So that's what we'll call the original Blushda lick. I find that most people, when they learn the Blushda, they learn that orchestration, and then there's not much elaboration or diversification from that point of this lick, which I think is sad, because it's a lick which you can get a lot of mileage out of in terms of application to the set. So I want to show you guys a few of my favorite orchestrations. So the classic is one of my favorites, but I also like playing it in the context of a groove. And the orchestration here is the same as the orchestration between the ride and the snare in terms of the kick drum follows the right hand, but you're moving over to the hi-hat and you're playing all of the right-handed notes on the hi-hat. And I like to play this in the context of a groove. So this will be the Blushda slowed down for you in this orchestration I'm referring to. In the context of the groove and sped up a little bit, it sounds something like this. So that's a really cool sounding phrase. I like to also, for some added flavor, I move the point at which I'm striking the snare closer to the rim to get a bit more overtone. I don't know why, but I think it adds a really nice texture to it. So I'll play it one more time and check out the hit point. I'm not hitting in the center of the drum, hitting pretty close to the rim with the left hand. So in my opinion, that's a really cool orchestration. You can just throw it in the context of a groove. You can shorten it up, play it once maybe, so that it's not like overwhelming. So that's the second orchestration I think is really awesome. This next orchestration gets a little more complex. We're going to start on the floor tom. So the right hand of the flam is on the floor tom. The notes in the middle are on the snare drum. And the last note, played with the left hand, is an accent on the hi-hat, and you strike it and you open it. And the kick drum follows the left hand at the end. So this one, slow, sounds like this. So check this one out a little bit faster. So this one in the context of a group. So that's another orchestration that I think is really cool. This last one is a rather unique orchestration. This is the last one that I have for you guys today. I'd love to know some orchestrations that you think of, that you'd suggest maybe in the comments. But this is the last one I'll show you for today. This one incorporates the snare drum, the ride cymbal again, and the kick drum. So it's the same set of voices as the first classic Blushda lick. Now what's different? So the difference is just in the drag. So we're going to play the drag on the ride cymbal and everything else on the snare drum. The drag, you'll remember, is the two-note right hand diddle dragged, followed by the left note. We're going to follow the right hand with the kick drum, and again, the right hand is on the ride cymbal. So this is what that lick sounds like. This one I think is really interesting and unique because it splits up the phrase. It kind of accents the middle of the phrase when you're hearing the kick drums. And I love doing licks, more intricate licks between the snare drum and the ride cymbal. So that's what this one sounds like. A little bit faster. A little bit faster. So those are the orchestrations that I had for you guys today. That's all I have on the Blushda for now. If you guys have suggestions or things that you'd really like to see put into lesson format, please do leave those suggestions in the comments. I would love to make some lessons about what you guys are interested in learning. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this lesson. If you did, please like and subscribe. I hope you have a great day. And I'll just finish with playing some Blushda.